Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heart Matters. We have another great program lined up for you today that I know that you'll enjoy. Our story today comes from a young family from Marystown who had to watch as their newborn daughter fought for her life. Listen in as Cheryl and Aaron Andrew share how they held on to God in their most helpless moments. Also singing for us today, we're very pleased to have Emilee Farrell as our musical guest. So, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the show.
The highest king would welcome me. I was lost, but he brought me. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free, who is free. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Free at last he has ransomed me, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died.
Heart Matters will return in just a moment.
Closed captioning has been provided by H. Bruce Home Inspections. For more information, call 709-571-0152.
RE/MAX would like to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of the most important transaction of your life. Our mandate is giving back to the communities that serve us. We will be honored to help you with your next move. Call any of our offices today and let one of our RE/MAX agents go to work for you.
Looking for quality products and top-notch service? From lumber to paint and refrigerators to sofa, your local Notre Dame Home Furnishings and Notre Dame Castle Building Centers can help you complete your home, serving you from 16 locations across Newfoundland and Labrador, 6 days a week.
Scott's Transport Limited is a family-owned and operated full transportation company located in beautiful Deer Lake. In business for over 25 years and with a fleet of modern equipment and dedicated team, we service the growing needs of businesses from Newfoundland and Labrador to Ontario and locations in between. If it matters to you, it matters to us.
Hi, my name is Aaron Andrews. I'm from Marystown. This is my wife, Cheryl. She's from Garnish. We've lived in this area pretty much our whole lives. Had 6 years in Paradise in between there, closer to work. My mother came from a big family, and she had, there's 5 girls and 3 boys. So, and with all those aunts and uncles around when I was growing up, we had so much fun. I just knew that, you know, we were going to want a big family. So after we had Madeline and we found out that Cheryl was pregnant again, we did know there was something wrong. They told us at that point that she would probably need a surgery at birth, and that after that they would go from there.
The structure of her heart, they could tell that something was off with it, so then they kind of had to take as many pictures as they could and kind of get the radiologist in to analyze
Try and
it
diagnose what exactly the issue was. At that point, at the 20-week point, it was hard to diagnose, even for the specialist, what exactly was wrong with the heart. It was hard to swallow, and you know, there's
a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, for sure. We had the ultrasound with the cardiologist, and they then diagnosed her with her true condition, which was hypoplastic left heart.
The left side of her heart was, a lot of times it was described as severely underdeveloped.
So her right side was doing all the work for both her lungs and her body, which usually it's a split. Mm-hmm. As parents, we knew that there were issues that can arise when in pregnancy, and you're always hoping for a healthy child, but I mean, a heart condition wasn't something that really went through our minds at all, to be honest. We went to Mount Sinai, and they told us that children with this condition have pretty much a 50-50 life expectancy through to like an age of like 5 to 10 or something like that. And they told us that it was a very difficult road for parents and siblings. They told us that it was, even if she did survive, she would most likely have other complications with development and everything like that. They told us that 50% of people with kids in that condition choose to terminate, and they sort of told us our options about that, and how it was okay to take that road if we thought that it was, we didn't want her to suffer or anything like that. So they made that option aware to us, and they told us at that point as well, obviously, that she would need 3 surgeries, one at shortly after birth, one at 6 months, and one at
around 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years old. It was a lot to swallow. It was a lot to hear. We knew that our family was behind us, and they were praying for us, and that support system was huge. She had to have a chance. She had to have a chance, and that her road, even if it was difficult, was something that we could handle with, with our family and with God, and that we would, we were going to come together, and we were going to face whatever it was that came our way. You'd never say there was anything wrong when she was born, other than the fact that she was rushed away very quickly. We never really got to see her or hold her or anything like that. They rushed her away.
I saw her for like 2 seconds. They held her up, and Aaron was waiting in the next room. To go through all that and to kind of, you know, like Aaron said, know the difficult road that was ahead of her, and then to have her be born and not even get to hold her was hard. But, you know, Aaron was waiting for her in the next room, so it was kind of the next best thing.
She was just monitored that night at Sick Kids. So she was born at Mount Sinai, and then she was they sent her to Sick Kids, and she was just monitored that night. And they would decide then she'd start being followed by a team. And first surgery,
they call it a Norwood procedure. So they insert a shunt to kind of reroute the blood flow where the left side isn't as developed. So it takes some of the work off of the right side of the heart. She had that at 8 days old?
8 days old.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to leave her chest open for so many days after surgery for swelling to go down. So to see her like that, it was hard to take. Keep your focus on your faith and the fact that, you know, you're just going to leave everything up to someone greater than yourself. And
the whole thing with Claire too, even from the time we found out about her condition, it was completely out of our hands.
yeah. We came home a couple months after she was born, and she seemed like she was doing well. Her cardiologist in St. John's, the ones who were following her, were happy with where she was, and they seemed like they thought she was fine to have her next surgery at 6 months. But we went up and we went to the hospital, and after the team seen her, they told us that she wasn't well enough for the surgery, that she wasn't even well enough for the cardiac catheter that they needed to do to assess whether or not she was strong enough for the next surgery. Shortly after that, she had a cardiac arrest. We almost lost her. One of the doctors came and told us that they were having trouble getting her on life support, that they were still trying, and this was like 45 minutes after her cardiac arrest. They were still trying to get her on life support, and they weren't sure what would happen, and they couldn't tell us much, and it was very, very scary time. She had to go on an ECMO machine, which is the life support for children, and it's a very intimidating machine.
It pumps the blood through her body for her, so it kind of
So
gives...
it's an acting heart.
Yeah, it gives her heart time to rest, really. So she was on that for 5 days, and it took 2 or 3 tries, I believe, before they were able to take her off of it.
They told us that she would have to improve in order to have a second surgery or to be a candidate for a transplant, and that their hopes of her improving were very minimal. So they thought that, you know, to them at that point it looked like we would lose her. We didn't think that it was over. We didn't think it was over.
Yeah, there was, you know, even up until this point, you know, Claire kind of went through, you know, thing after thing, and she still came out on top. So yeah, we were
very optimistic, and we had reason to be. Our faith only grew with every test that she had, because no matter how bad the outlook they gave us after every setback, she always came out as good as we could have ever hoped. It was a couple months, or about a month or so after her arrest. They told us that she was improving and that they were going to put her on a transplant list, and they told us the risks involved with transplant, and they explained to us that it wasn't a cure, but that they were hopeful that it would work for her, and they thought it was better than a second surgery for her. You just wait.
Yeah. Again, out of our hands, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. You just wait. In the hallway that her room was in, we knew, you know, most of the kids in that hallway, and so we'd kind of just sit out in the hallway in each of their doorways, and the kids would play, and Claire was hanging in her doorway in a jolly jumper, and the the hospital had these therapeutic clowns that come around to all the kids and sing and kind of play, and there was a clown there playing with us, and we were just kind of sitting there, and you know, out of the blue, you look down the hallway, and the doctors are coming towards you, and they say, you know, can we have a quick word with you for a second? And
they told us they had a potential donor for Claire, and that they actually told us prior to the surgery that because of the antibodies she had, that it was a little more risky of a operation than a normal transplant. Mm-hmm. But
she had her transplant and then was discharged from the hospital 9 days later. So after like 8 months, just kind of like, wow, what just happened? But yeah. It's certainly in her case, it's a functioning heart.
Very minimal issues, and she's been blessed with as good a health as we could hope for.
Yep. Yeah, she's just kind of your typical 3-year-old. She loves Peppa Pig, and she loves,
Eggos.
She loves Eggos. And, yeah, she's very very independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, very independent.
If it wasn't for all the prayers, we personally, I don't think we would have made it through ourselves. It's too much for us to bear alone. And I'm sure that her condition and her everything that happened through all those bumps, God was with her the whole way, and she was 3 in November. Yeah, she's doing great.
Here at Heart Matters, we love hearing from you, our viewers. Perhaps you've really enjoyed a particular episode, or you have a suggestion for an upcoming show. Well, there's a couple of ways that you can get in contact with us. You can drop by our website at Heart Matters TV and send us a message directly through the website. You can also write us through Facebook, where we post weekly updates that keep you informed about upcoming episodes. And of course, Heart Matters can be followed on Twitter using the handle Heart Matters NL, and on Instagram at Heart Matters TV. Still to come on today's show, To the Point with Ralph Benson, and more music from Emilee Farrell when Heart Matters returns.
From envelopes to tractor-trailer loads, Dooley's Trucking caters to all your shipping needs. Capable of meeting all your shipping requirements throughout Newfoundland, Dooley's Trucking is your choice for fast and efficient delivery. Ship with the best. Ship Dooley's.
My name is Brandon. I'm the owner here at Gander Appliance and Furniture. We sell a wide variety of appliances and furniture, including Canadian-made Decorest, Ashley Furniture, Samsung, as well as Whirlpool. Please visit us at 292 Airport Boulevard here in Gander. Also visit us at our location in Lewisport at 1 Fairview Street.
Terry's Tents, specializing in custom canvas products, picture framing, embroidery, and printing. Also carrying a wide variety of craft supplies, fabrics, leathers, and furs. Located at 326 Hamilton River Road in Happy Valley, Goose Bay.
I remember when the movie Frozen first came out, my granddaughter was singing, "Let it go, let it go." Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Turn away and slam the door. Let it go. And I was like, what? So I decided to look at the lyrics. I watched Elsa sing. It's a kingdom of isolation. And it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in. Heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in. Don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal. Don't feel. Don't let them know. Just let it go. It's time to see what I can do. To test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. You'll never see me cry. It sounds like Elsa is carrying a heavy burden. She has a lot of turmoil in her isolation. That is pretty heavy in more ways than one. Sort of like having something on your back and you need to let it go, but you don't know how. It is sort of like taking this and, oh, I can't lay it down anymore. Seems like people are carrying a lot today. You may not see it on their backs, but you see the strain on their lives. Isolation, loneliness, anger, sin. You can see the exhaustion. People look drained, very high-strung with no peace of mind. In Jesus' day, one of the burdens that people carried was actually religion. They were trying to get to God on their own terms. It became a burden. People were desperately trying to find God, desperately trying to be good enough. And they were finding it impossible and exhausting. Religion can drain the life out of you. Jesus came to call people away from the burden of not being good enough. He wants you to take the yoke of His grace. Let it go. It's giving our sin to Him and receiving His forgiveness. Jesus makes the burden light. He invited people to come. All you that are weary and heavy laden, I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest, He said, for your soul. For my yoke is easy, my burden is light. Are you tired, worn out, burnt out? Has your sin become more than you can bear? God will take your burden. God will use His people to help you. There are times when you need someone else to bear the burden with you. When I came to Christ, I connected to a support system beyond this world. To have people pray for you, it is life-giving. To experience the love that another person can have for your soul is so inspiring. When people speak words of encouragement into your life, it's beyond value. It's like giving someone else help by taking their luggage and you lighten their load. There is no greater support than what you can experience in the family of God. The words of the song from Frozen is descriptive of how many feel today. A kingdom of isolation. You do not have to live in isolation. You don't need to turn to drugs and anger and sin. Lay your burden at the feet of Jesus. If you will turn to God, you will find rest for your soul. The Lord takes our burden, our yoke, and replaces it with His, and it's easy. What are you carrying today? Unlike Elsa, you may need to cry. You may need to be honest and come to Jesus and cry out to Him. He will take your burden. He wants you to lay it down, all of your pain, all of your hurt, and leave it there, and He will carry it for you. That is the purpose of Christ and His love for you this day.
Are you hurting or broken within? Overwhelmed by the weight of your sin? Jesus is calling. Have you come to the end of yourself? Do you thirst for a drink from the well? Jesus is calling. Oh, come to the altar. The Father's arms are open wide. Forgiveness was bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Leave behind your regrets and mistakes. Come today, there's no reason bought with the precious blood of Jesus Christ.
Well, that brings us to the end of our time today, but I want to take a moment to thank today's guests, Emilee Farrell and Cheryl and Aaron Andrews, for being with us. Now, if you found today's show to be an encouragement to you, then we would love to hear about it. You can contact us through our website or Facebook page. And if you'd like to see more episodes like this, then please stop by our YouTube channel and watch any of our past shows. Our hope with each episode is that you will find hope in Jesus and choose to get closer to Him. Until next time, I'm Mike Freake, and thanks for watching.